and we reviewed every episode of Picard. And I'm pretty sure we wore each other out with how many compliments we kept giving about you. Like nonstop. You were absolutely a standout actor on the series, and we were just absolutely had to have you, here to talk to you. So thank you.
That's very kind. Thank you for saying that. That means a lot.
You're an amazing actress. Love your performances. Love you on the show. Strong woman. Tell us about your experience. Coming on.
It's been an amazing experience, I have to say. And for anyone who, loves Picard, loves Patrick Stewart specifically, he is exactly what you hope he would be. He could not be kinder, more generous, more encouraging, funny, self-deprecating, a team player. He really just welcomes us and makes us feel like we're all part of the same group, this ensemble. And as far as Rafi, when I read the breakdown for the character, I was so drawn to it. I'll tell you a little backstory. I actually had to have foot surgery. Random. I had to have foot surgery from been a martial artist since I was a teenager, and back in the day when I was doing karate, my dojo was a concrete dojo. It wasn't all the cushy, soft stuff that we have today. They were just like, work, get on the concrete, punch your wood wall. Like my makiwara pads were wooden. So I've broken a bunch of bones in my foot, and I just needed to have a surgery. And I was in New York, and I got this email at like 9:30 p.m. for a self-tape the next day. And I'm lying there getting ready for surgery in the morning, and I literally send off an email. Sorry guys, I'm not going to be able to do it. I didn't tell my people that I was getting surgery because in this industry, you just don't want to say anything. It's so silly, but you don't want to say anything because people will be like, oh, she's out of, she can't be submitted for work. So I sent off a quick thing saying I can't do anything tomorrow, and then I thought, be a good actress and read the whole email. So I started to read the whole email. And I read the character breakdown because it doesn't say Star Trek. That. It said something like drawing room or something. So I'm reading
that's what it was.
Character breakdown and drawing room now, and it was so thick, so full. The fact that she was haunted by regrets, the fact that she has these crutches that she leans on, that she is trying to do her best, but she is not at a place where she can perform at her optimum. And then I read the sides, which were 11 pages, by the way, 11 pages. Mm-hmm. And they were just so good. It was so good. And I'm like, what is this? And so then I read who the producers were, said Alex Kurtzman, said, probably Akiva, and then said Patrick. And I was like, wait a second, wait, hold a second. I think this is something other than drawing room. This is got to be So I send an email off to my people. I said, you know what? I can't do tomorrow, but if we could, if they can extend the window to Monday, I'll do it over the weekend because I'm still not telling them that I have surgery. And they're like, sure, no problem. So Thursday, I go have the surgery for the foot. I come home, I'm on like Oxy. I'm just like loopy. I check my emails first, which is not perfect. And I check my emails and they say, sorry, honey, we need it in tomorrow. So now Thursday, I have 11 pages. I've just come back from the hospital, and I just say, you know what? The character is too glorious for me not to try. So I ingest 11 pages of dialogue. Friday, I wean myself off the Oxy, which, by the way, if anybody's had foot surgery, it's like foot surgery is unbelievably painful. So it was like I was in excruciating pain. But I weaned myself off. My husband, who's an actor, set up the little, iPhone. We did 2 takes. I liked the beginning of the first take. I didn't like the end of the second one. I didn't like the beginning of the second one, but I liked the end of the second. And I just literally, because I couldn't get it together, I said, just send those off. I just can't figure it all out. And I'm so thankful and appreciate I did, because I got such great feedback from Michael Chabon, from my producers. They really loved my take on Rafi, and just by watching those 2 takes, they offered me the job. And it has to be one of those moments where it was meant to be, because I feel like of all the characters I've played in my almost 30 years in this industry, and mind you, I've always chosen to have strong women because I'm a woman of color. I really want to be I want to represent us well. I want to show, as well as being a biracial child, I want to show these like all different kind of mixy people that we are here, that we're valid, that we can contribute, and we can look like this, and be employed. So I've always tried to make sure that the parts I've taken, are ones that are of a learned person, an educated person, a strong person. I always used to joke. It's really weird, I have to say, because this is, our climate right now with police and all that is complicated. Because back in the day, I always used to say, if it's a role, that I'm choosing between someone who wears heels or carries a gun, I'll take the gun every time. And now I have to really question how I think about that, right? Because we have sort of allowed some types of entertainment to, I'm being careful right now, to celebrate, or not celebrate, but to make the police officers always the heroes. Mm-hmm. And we really need to examine how we tell those stories now, both sides of the stories. But all that to say, once I got this one, I didn't realize how much the ingredients that was missing was the vulnerability of human beings, that we have faults, that we're perfectly imperfect, that we can make mistakes, that mistakes can haunt us, and that we try to fix those mistakes, and yet we can still have regrets whether we were able to or not. And I loved that. I really loved that, because I wanted to show that we all go through that. We all struggle. We all have these demons that can sit on our shoulders sometimes. And it doesn't mean that we're useless and that we should be written off and forgotten or ignored. It only means that perhaps some people could take the time to slow down and reach out and help our fellow neighbors and our loved ones who are struggling. Addiction, any type of addiction, is a beast, and it's there for a purpose. It's there because we're in pain and we're suffering and we're trying to wake up and get out of bed. And sometimes you reach for that thing that's not the healthiest, but it gives you some kind of false feeling of strength, and so you can get up and reach, meet the day. So I felt like this was a really important story, and to put that in the world of Star Trek, to put that in a world where, for myself, I don't know about you guys, but for myself, Star Trek has always been a show that was welcomed in my house. My parents are activists. They were activists. My father's passed. But we grew up at the time where my dad was walking with Dr. King. He set up fundraising cabarets. It was called Matinee for Freedom, with Maya Angelou, my father, and Godfrey Cambridge, and they would come together with other Black actors in New York, and they would sing and do monologues and all stuff to raise money for Dr. King's marches. So I'm an activist child, and my father really wanted to make sure that if we were watching entertainment, it was inclusive. It didn't portray anybody in stereotypical ways, all the races. And one of the shows that when we were kids that we would all gather around, that my father was happy to turn on, was Star Trek, because it's about all of us.
Was it original series reruns, or was it Next Generation?
Well, it was original series reruns. I don't need to date myself, but yeah.
Way reruns.
Way, they were reruns.
Second, third batch.
Third, fourth. I mean, I don't even know.
5, 6, 8.
That's right. Thank you, my brother. But my eldest sister, Denise, there's 3 girls in the family. I'm the baby. It's Denise, Adrian, and Michelle. And Denise has always, with my father, has been a diehard Star Trek fan, OG from the beginning to end. Like, so she was the one who, like, when I started to tell her about the possibility that me doing this job, lost her cookies and was just like, whatever you do, you have to get this job. And when the comic book came out, she actually went to all the different comic book stores in Manhattan and basically like tracked them down, and then was like, the next time you get on this issue, call me.
You call me.
That's right. That's exactly right.